This audio is brought to you by Muslim Central. Please consider donating to help cover our running costs and future projects by visiting www.muslimcentral.com/donate.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Lesson number 109, Surah At-Taubah, ayah number 94 to 106. يَعْتَذِرُونَ إِلَيْكُمْ إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ. They will make excuses to you when you have returned to them. Who will make excuses? The munafiqeen. That when the Prophet ﷺ returned to Medina, they came to him presenting excuses, apologizing as to why they had not participated in the battle. Whereas everyone was required to go. يَعْتَذِرُونَ is from the root letters, Ayn, Dhal, Ra. And as we discussed earlier, udhr is of two types. One is a genuine reason, a genuine excuse, and the other is false. And the form i'tadara, ya'tadiru, usually it is used for making a false excuse, presenting a false excuse. So يَعْتَذِرُونَ إِلَيْكُمْ. They will present false excuses to you إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ, when you return to them in Medina from the expedition to Tabuk. قُلْ, say, O Prophet ﷺ, say to them in response that لَا تَعْتَذِرُوا, do not make excuses. Stop making false excuses. Why? Because لَن نُؤْمِنَ لَكُمْ, we will never believe in you. نُؤْمِنَ from amana, and iman is to believe. And iman, when followed by li, it means to believe in someone, to trust what they're saying, to accept what they're saying. So don't make excuses, because we're never going to believe what you're saying. Why? Because قَدْ نَبَّأَنَا اللَّهُ, in fact, Allah has informed us, نَبَّأَنَا from noon by hamza, naba. Allah has already informed us about what? مِنْ أَخْبَارِكُمْ, about your news. Akhbar is the plural of khabr. So Allah has already informed us about your state, about your news, about your real intention, about the false excuses that you're advancing, what is really in your heart and what you're saying on the outward. Allah has told us about your reality. So stop making false excuses, because we're never going to accept them. وَسَيَرَ اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ, and soon Allah will see your deeds. Allah is going to observe your actions, not your statements, not your words. What is going to be looked at? What you do, not just what you say or claim. Allah will observe, what do you do now? Do you repent? Do you make amends? Or do you keep lying and pretending? Who else will see? Who else will observe your actions along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَرَسُولُهُ, and also His Messenger. Because Allah already knows. However, people also, they become a witness to the other's actions. And also, sometimes people say that Allah knows how sincere I am. Allah knows how much I'm trying. But the fact is that a person's sincerity, his efforts, become visible to people as well. So Allah will observe your deeds, and also His Messenger is going to observe your deeds. ثُمَّ تُرَدُّونَ, then you will be returned. This is a warning that if you don't change your ways, and if you continue to lie, if you continue to make false excuses, if you continue to miss out on important opportunities, then remember that one day you will be returned to who? إِلَىٰ عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ, to the knower of the unseen and the witness. What is al-ghayb? That which is hidden from people. And what is ash-shahada? That which is witnessed, meaning that which can be seen, that which can be observed. So that which is visible to people. Al-ghayb is that which is hidden. And ash-shahada, that which is visible. Similarly, al-ghayb can apply to what is in the heart of a person, what is hidden. And ash-shahada can apply to what a person is saying, what a person is doing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the hidden and the visible. He knows the unseen and the witness. His knowledge encompasses everything. He knows of your internal as well as external states. He is fully aware of you, so you cannot deceive Him. فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ Then He will inform you. About what? بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ About what you have been doing. What does it mean by this? فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ That when you return to Allah, He will inform you about all the deeds that you had been doing. He will inform you on the Day of Judgment that this is what you did, this is what you missed out on, this is what you ignored, this is the good that you did, and this is the bad that you did. But the objective of the Day of Judgment is not just to inform a person as to what he did. What's the purpose? To recompense, to give recompense. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by informing the person what he has done, what will He do? He will recompense him based on that. There's a very beautiful example, a very logical example that someone once presented, that each day, it is as though we are given 24 boxes. For each hour, it is as though we're given one box. And for each hour we're told, or we are to, fill up that box with whatever that we want. It's up to us. Whatever we want to fill it with, we can fill it up with. And each box as it's packed, meaning as the hour is over, it is gone. It is sent. Where? Where? It is shipped to the akhirah. And on the Day of Judgment, all those boxes will be unpacked. And we will see, okay, this is what we put in our boxes. Now just imagine, some boxes might be empty because we didn't do anything that was worthwhile. Some boxes may be full. Some boxes may be full of good things, and some boxes may be full of useless things. Useless things. فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ He will inform you as to what you had been doing your whole life. Everything is packed, and you go and unpack it later. You will see what you were busy doing, what you were busy accomplishing. And based on that, you'll be given your recompense. So in this ayah, hypocrites are being mentioned. Munafiqeen are mentioned. Which munafiqeen? Those who did not accompany the Prophet ﷺ to the book. Who did not go at all. And on their return, meaning on the return of the Muslims, what did they do? They presented false excuses. They presented false excuses. That we were so busy. I was so ill. False excuse, not a genuine excuse, false. Yes, I was going to come, but I thought, forget it, it's been so long anyway. Why bother going? They presented false excuses. Why did they present false excuses? So that the Muslims would become pleased with them. So that the Prophet ﷺ would be pleased with them. And they presented all these false excuses in order to assure them of their loyalty. So that the Muslims don't think bad about them. But the ayah clearly shows that a person cannot please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by mere talk, by oaths, by false intentions, by false excuses. What is needed to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Amal. وَسَيَرَ اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ Don't present false excuses. Allah is going to see your actions. What is needed to please Allah is ikhlas, sincerity. And secondly, amal, actions. Without these two, without ikhlas and without amal, no matter how great and beautiful one's speech may be, it is not enough. It does not carry any weight. When a person lies and he tries to deceive others through his speech, then his actions demonstrate what he truly means. If a child continues to say to his mother, I really love you. I love you, you're so nice to me. And if the mother says, can you please bring me a glass of water? And he says, no, I won't. What does it mean? Does he love the mother? He does not. A person can say whatever he wants, but his actions prove what he truly means. Because actions, they speak louder than words. Over here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that tell them, قَدْ نَبَّأَنَا اللَّهُ بِأَخْبَارِكُمْ Allah has informed us about your news. The fact is that when a person presents excuses over and over again, people don't believe him anymore. People don't believe him anymore as to what he's saying. They don't trust him. They don't take His word. So Allah has informed the Prophet ﷺ and the believers as to the reality of the hypocrites. And even generally, when people lie, when people present false excuses, their insincerity is obvious. People don't trust them anymore. سَيَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Soon they will swear by Allah. لَكُمْ, for you. Meaning, as soon as you return, they will come to you swearing by Allah. سَيَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ. And why will they swear? لَكُمْ, for you. Meaning, in order to please you, in order to satisfy you. They will swear that they remain behind only because of some udhr. Why does a person swear? Why does he swear? So that the other person believes in him. Why does he want the other person to believe in him? Or why does he think that the other person might not believe him? Because he knows that what he's saying is incorrect. Or that he has a bad reputation. So he wants the other person to believe what he's saying, therefore he needs to swear oaths. سَيَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ. They will swear by Allah. لَكُمْ, for you, إِذَا انْقَلَبْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ, when you return to them. When you return to them from Tabuk, they will come to you not only presenting excuses, but swearing as well. لِتُعْرِضُوا عَنْهُمْ. Why will they do that? So that you turn away from them. تُعْرِضُوا, from the root letters, عَيْن را ضاد, إِعْرَاض. And إِعْرَاض is to turn away from someone. They will swear so that you turn away from them. What does it mean by this, so that you turn away from them? Meaning you overlook their mistake. You forgive them. You don't question them. You don't reproach them. You don't hold them accountable. You don't punish them. You don't get upset with them. This is what they want. They just want you to turn away from them, that you don't get upset from them. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? فَأَعْرِضُوا عَنْهُمْ. So turn away from them. It doesn't mean don't get upset with them. What does it mean? Don't bother arguing with them. When they come presenting false excuses, don't argue with them. That no, what you're saying is false. Or prove it to me that you really have this genuine reason. Give me some evidence. No. Don't even bother with them. فَأَعْرِضُوا عَنْهُمْ. Just turn away from them. Don't bother arguing with them. Why? Because إِنَّهُمْ رِجْسٌ. They're dirty. They're filthy. And filth, you don't need to look at it. You don't need to waste your time with it. You don't need to look at it and disturb yourself. Turn away from them, because they are rijs. What does rijs mean? Filth. And remember, rijs is like rijs, which is something is so filthy, something is so dirty, that you look at it and you shudder. You don't even want to look at it. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to come close to it. This is their state. Earlier we read about the mushrikeen, that they are najas. And munafiqeen, they are rijs. That munafiqeen, they're filthy, they're dirty. And dirt, you shouldn't bother your time with it. فَأَعْرِضُوا عَنْهُمْ, because إِنَّهُمْ رِجْسٌ. They are filth. How are the hypocrites rijs? How are they filthy? How are they dirty? That inside, what did they have in them? Did they have iman? Did they have ikhlas? No. They had nifaq. They had marad. They had grudges. Their tongues. Were they truthful? Were they sincere? No. They mocked at the Prophet ﷺ. They mocked at the believers. They did lams. They lied. They presented false excuses. So when someone is so bad, when someone is so dirty, why should you bother to even look at them? Why should you bother to even waste your time with them? Turn away from them, because they're dirty. They're filthy. وَمَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمْ. And their abode is hellfire. Why? Because the hellfire is just like in the dunya, when you want to dispose of something that is dirty, where do you throw it? In the garbage. And eventually, sometimes that garbage is also burnt. Similarly, people who don't deserve to go to Jannah, they're like filth, rijs. And where does rijs go? It's supposed to be burned. It's supposed to be destroyed. وَمَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمْ. Their abode is hellfire. Look at the word ma'wa. Ma'wa is from the root letters hamza, waw, ya. And ma'wa is a place of residence. A place where a person lives. a place where a person stays. This is where they will stay, never to come out of it. Because sometimes, if something is dirty, if someone has made a mistake, you correct them, you rebuke them, eventually what's going to happen? Maybe they will reform themselves. Maybe they will get out of that problem. But some people, the wrong that they do, no matter how much you tell them, no matter how much you reproach them, they don't fix themselves. Therefore, don't even bother advising these people anymore. Don't bother making them feel something anymore, because they are rich and they will remain in hellfire. Why? جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, as a recompense for what they had been earning. As a recompense for what they had been earning. The deeds that they had been doing, this is what they deserve, hellfire. We see that the munafiqeen, they were extremely well-off people. And their wealth was also very impressive. But what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say over here? That they are rijs. Why? Because of their inside. A person may be extremely beautiful on the outside. He may be wearing very expensive clothing. He may spend and eat lavishly. But if on the inside there is no iman, then such a person has no value in the sight of Allah. On the outward, he may be beautiful. On the inside, because there is no iman, such a person is rijs. Such a person is rijs. The outward appearance of the munafiqeen, we learn in Surah Al-Munafiqun, ayah 4, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ تُعْجِبُكَ أَجْسَامُهُمْ. When you would see them, their forms would please you. Their bodies would please you. They would amaze you. وَإِن يَقُولُوا تَسْمَعْ لِقَوْلِهِمْ. And if they speak, you would listen to their speech. كَأَنَّهُمْ خُشُبٌ مُسَنَّدَةٌ. They are as if they were pieces of wood propped up. So, very impressive people in the physical sense, in the outward sense. However, on the inside, they had nothing. Which is why they're described as rijs. What do we learn from the hadith? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنظُرُ إِلَىٰ صُوَرِكُمْ وَأَمْوَالِكُمْ. He doesn't look at your faces. He doesn't look at your wealth. وَلَكِنْ, but what does He look at? إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. He looks at your hearts and your deeds. He looks at your hearts and your actions. What is it that beautifies the inside of a person? It's iman and ikhlas. Like we learn in Surah Hujurat, ayah number 7, وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Allah has adorned it. Allah has endeared to you the faith and has made it pleasing in your hearts. He has beautified your hearts with iman. What beautifies the heart is actually iman. Not that a person is so smart that he can get away with anything and everything. With his speech, with his sharp tongue, with his outward appearance. He can get away from anything. That is not what beautifies a person. What beautifies a person is his iman. And if a person only focuses on the outside, that he just wants people to be pleased with him, and he's only focusing on his outward appearance, then that is not sufficient. Where will the munafiqeen be? إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرْكِ الْأَسْفَلِ مِنَ النَّارِ. In the lowest level of hellfire. Just imagine a garbage dump. What is in the lowest level? That which is most useless. Most useless. It doesn't have any value. Any value at all. This is where the munafiqeen will be. يَحْلِفُونَ لَكُمْ. They will swear to you. Before you, they will swear oaths for your sake. Why? لِتَرْضَوْا عَنْهُمْ. So that you become happy with them. تَرْضَوْا, you all. Who does this refer to? Prophet ﷺ as well as the Sahaba. That they swear in order to please you all. So that you don't say anything to them. So that you don't think bad about them. So that you don't think that they have done something wrong. They swear in order to please you. What does Allah say? فَإِن تَرْضَوْا عَنْهُمْ. But if you are pleased with them, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ, then indeed Allah, لَا يَرْضَى عَنِ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. He is not happy. He is not pleased with those people who are defiantly disobedient. Allah is not happy with them. What does this show? That if Allah's pleasure and approval is not there, then no one else's pleasure matters. Because the Prophet ﷺ is being addressed. That even if you become happy with them, Allah is not happy with them. So what does it show? If a person thinks that he only needs to please the Prophet, that's not enough. What is necessary? That a person must strive to earn the pleasure of Allah. فَإِن تَرْضَوْا عَنْهُمْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَرْضَى عَنِ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. So what do we see in this ayah? That the munafiqun, they would swear. Why? Only to please people. Only to please the Prophet ﷺ. Because the hypocrite, the munafiq, is self-conscious and he's also people-conscious. He's not Allah-conscious. He's very concerned about his image before people. And he's very concerned about how people perceive him, what people think of him. This is what he's concerned about. He doesn't focus on pleasing Allah, on how Allah sees him. What's the reason behind this? In Surah Al-Hashr, ayah number 13, we learn, لَأَنْتُمْ أَشَدُّ رَهْبَةً فِي صُدُورِهِمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ. You believers are more fearful within their breasts than Allah. They are more afraid from you than they are afraid of Allah. They're more afraid of you than they are afraid of Allah. Why? Because ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ. That is because there are people who do not understand. So the sign of a person's intelligence is that he fears only Allah. And when a person is fearful of people, what will they say? What will they think? What do they think about me? Then this is a sign of what? Ignorance and a person not having aql. A person not having fahm. That this person does not have any understanding. The hypocrite is always concerned. What do people think about me? How do I look before them? And we need to check ourselves over here. That how many deeds we perform because of the fear of people. And how many deeds do we perform because of the fear of Allah? What is our concern? That if people are happy with us, we are happy. And if people are unhappy with us, then we are also unhappy. We are so worried. We get so concerned that why did this person say this to me? Why did they look at me like that? What did they mean with that expression? We analyze and overanalyze conversations with people. The people's behavior towards us. Why? Because we're afraid of them. This is what we're always concerned about. What will they think? What will they say? Why did they do this? Why did they say that? If a person looks in a particular way, we analyze their look. Maybe it's that, maybe it's this. Why? Because we're afraid of people. The sad part is that a person is putting in all of his effort just to please people. At the end of the day, he's not content, he's not happy. And people are also not happy with him. And certainly Allah is also not happy with such a person. So we see that it is hypocritical behavior that a person does something only for the fear of people. And he does not change his ways out of fear of Allah. We learned earlier in Surah Al-Ma'idah that what is the test? That مَنْ يَخَافُهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. Who fears Allah in ghaib? When he's alone, when nobody's watching him, when nobody's looking at him, when nobody's analyzing his actions. مَنْ خَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ. This is the test. Who is it that fears Allah while he is alone, while nobody is looking at him? And if you look at it in these ayat, repeatedly the hypocrites, what are they being called? What are they being called? Fasiqeen. Isn't it so? This word has come so many times for the hypocrites, for the munafiqeen. Why? Because when a person is not afraid of Allah, then what does he do? He repeatedly crosses limits. He repeatedly commits sins. Repeatedly. He will lie. He will disobey. He will not pray salah. He will only pray salah when he's in front of people. He will not perform his wudu properly. Why? Because he does not have fear of Allah. Fear of Allah is what keeps a person on the straight path. We should remember that if Allah is not pleased with us, if we do not have fear of Allah, and because of that fear we don't please Him, and the entire world is happy with us, that's not beneficial at all. It's not going to make us successful. What is it that makes a person successful? When he's afraid of Allah. Because then he will focus on pleasing Allah. And when a person is afraid of people, then he will focus on pleasing people only. So who is the intelligent person? Who is a wise person? Who fears Allah. Aisha radhiyallahu anha, she narrated that مَنِ الْتَمَسَ رِضَى اللَّهِ بِسَخَطِ النَّاسِ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ وَأَرْضَى عَنْهُ النَّاسِ. Whoever seeks Allah's pleasure, whoever's focus is the pleasure of Allah, and he seeks Allah's pleasure at the expense of men's displeasure. You understand? He can only please Allah how? By displeasing people. You know, sometimes you don't know what to do. Should you pray salah? Or should you make people upset? Should you wear the hijab? Or should you make people upset? Whoever seeks Allah's pleasure at the expense of men's displeasure, such a person will win Allah's pleasure. And Allah will cause men to be pleased with him. Allah will also make, people happy with him. It might take time, but eventually people will be happy with him. And whoever seeks to please men at the expense of Allah's displeasure, he will win the displeasure of Allah, and Allah will cause men to be displeased with him as well. If a person's focus is the pleasure of people, and because of that he displeases Allah, then what's going to happen? He will neither be able to please people, nor will he be able to please Allah. But on the other hand, if a person's focus is the pleasure of Allah, then Allah will be happy with him, and people eventually will also be happy with him. So the intelligent person is who? The one who focuses on pleasing Allah alone. And when a person thinks like that, only then he will have ikhlas. Only then will he do his action sincerely. We should not do any good deed for the sake of other people. For the sake of other people. Because when we do it for the sake of other people, then that is not ikhlas. That is not ikhlas. That is not sincerity. So there is a chance of losing out on the reward in the hereafter as well. And at the same time, if we keep our reward as a pleasure of people, then what's going to happen? We will never be able to please people. Isn't it so? No matter what you do, people will never be completely happy with you. So what's going to happen? Because they're not happy with me, therefore I'm not going to do this anymore. So the actions will also not have any thabat. They will not have any stability. They will wear down eventually. They will go away eventually. The wise person is the one who fears Allah everywhere he is. Not people, but Allah. No matter where he is. Whether he's at home, whether he's with righteous people, or whether he is with unrighteous people, no matter where he is, he fears Allah. Because only then will he remain obedient to Him.
This audio is brought to you by Muslim Central. Please consider donating to help cover our running costs and future projects by visiting www.muslimcentral.com/donate.